Hello and welcome to Project Cars 2. You're watching NRN, the Noble Racing Network. I'm Justin Bullock and thank you so much for tuning in to this race. We have a multi-class race today around the tough street circuit of Long Beach. 1 hour will make up the time in this race in 3 different classes around this tough and very narrow street circuit of Long Beach. Very historical place. Dan Gurney got this track up and running. But let's head down to the track where the race has just begun. The timer has set and we've got an hour of racing here at Long Beach. Side by side, the leaders go into the first corner heading for the fountain. That's going to be Mario Pusapino with the advantage on the inside and give second place the first place. Mario Pusapino has driven to the lead and our pole sitter David Hager has been situated back to second place, In third place is Kevin Bolton. There's your leader currently in LMP2, and I cannot believe it. That's Jochen Fromel, and he started 4th in this race. So in just a couple of corners, he's gone from 4th to 1st to score him the race leader in LMP2. And there's your LMP3 leader. That's Adam Parker in the Aston Martin. He started 3rd, so he's already moved up 2 spots, and he's leading this race currently in the Aston Martin. And the pole sitter for GTE is behind him. That's Suzuki Ryu in second place. But back up front, Mario Pusapino, the early leader, as he comes to lead lap number 1. And David Hager is going to be in second place just behind him. Pusapino is starting to open up a little bit of a gap too. It's about 7/10 of a second, but that is decreasing as they head towards the first turn. But Kevin Bolton, he's losing touch to the leaders. On that curb there, they're going to be using that curb all day long, using those curbs. Very tight through there, narrows out really big. You have to go in there one car at a time, so you're gonna have to be patient around this place. This place is very tricky, very easy to tag the wall, and if you make a mistake, you don't have a whole lot of room to try and gain that car back. Again, there's the leader, Jochen Fromel, up 4 positions. So incredible start for him. Not sure how he was able to do that. There must have been a slow start from John Shore. That was the pole sitter for LMP2. He's currently situated back to second. We ride on board with John Shore, and that spec right there you see way up there, there's the leader of LMP2. That's the car he's chasing. And he's already opened that up to about a 2-second lead over him. So great start for Jochen Fromel in this one. Alex Greenland running in 3rd place in that blue car. But there's your leader in GTE, Adam Parker, in that beautiful silver Aston Martin. He's got a mirror full of a BMW right now. The guy who started first in the GTE class, Suzuki Ryu, trying to get the lead of the race back. But it's just so difficult to pass. You see everyone single file. And it's just so hard to pass at this racetrack. The best place to make passes is going to be right here going into turn 1 or around the fountain turn, but you got to make that pass quick because it narrows out and you got to go through there 1 car at a time. I just don't know if you can go 2 cars through that turn. Got a LMP, looks like an LMP2 car. That's going to be Milton Holt. And he got off to a terrible start in the race. He's being shown 22nd overall, 9th in class. Not a good start for him. Things have closed up though for the lead. Mario Pusapino, he's only got a 0.3 of a second lead. They got held up with that yellow Corvette. That's Naomi Forrester. She held up the leaders just a little bit. They've already caught and put her a lap down. So I think she's struggling with something on that car because she is way off the pace from the rest of the field. The leaders go by, and that's going to open up a huge gap back to Kevin Boland. We ride on board with David Hager. Oh, and I think he tagged the wall there a little bit. Didn't hit it hard, but he certainly touched it there. Gave it a little kiss. Not going to be good for that car to be doing that too much. That's what I'm saying. You have to run so close to the wall here. If you make a slight mistake, you just have no room to try to gather that car back, so you will tag the wall. And you know he's pushing hard. He's giving it everything he's got, trying to catch the leader of the race. These 2 cars were the quickest in the practice and qualifying sessions. And David Haggard just did get the pole over him. It was like a 1/10 of a second. And so you just knew it was going to be a tight race up at the front. But Kevin Bolin, he's settled back to 2 seconds behind these leaders. So he's kind of running by himself right now. And he's probably hoping these two start racing one another. He can close back in, or those two take one another out. Alex Greenland, LMP2 car, who was running 3rd in class, he's on pit road. And you know this has to be for damage because it is way too early to be making a pit stop. So not a good start to the race for Alex Greenland. He was running 3rd in the class. So that is going to move Fernando Schwartzer into that position. Adam Parker still leading and starting to build a gap over that 2nd place BMW. And I expected those BMWs to run well. Currently holding 2nd. Probably didn't get off to a really good start. I think there was a traffic jam at the start of the race going into the first turn. I think that really messed up a lot of guys in the order. And I think some guys ran into one another, got some damage. So I think that's the issue there. We watch Suzuki Ryu being chased by that beautiful Ferrari. Belongs to Julian Ogen. We ride on board with him. Careful not to clip that corner. Back up front with our leaders. 6 laps into this race, not quite 10 minutes. Mario Pasapino has led all of them. David Hagar continues the chase. And we got a Corvette on pit road with damage. You can see the front end of that car weaving around. That's Naomi Forster. She's in for the 2nd time. So a terrible start for Corvette and for Naomi. She's struggling in the opening laps of this race, so she's run into something, so someone out there has back end damage. There's 2nd place, Fernando Schwartzer in the LMP2 class. He has moved John Shore back to 3rd, so he's gotten around him, made that pass. John Shore now is a mirror full of James Bolton. James Bolton is there in that red car. He actually started 8th in class, so he's moved up to 4th. He's starting to make his way forward. We got on board with him. Trying to use that draft, and he's going to look to the inside. He may have the advantage here, side by side. They go. Oh, he had to get out of it. He had to get out of it. It narrowed out, and I think you could see he was going to get pinched. John Shore was going to pinch him, and he had to get out of it to avoid both cars from running into one another. Spencer McCarthy just hit the wall. He's running in 5th. He just tagged the wall a little bit, and he's running in front of Mark Abbott. Mark Abbott is 5th. There's Spencer McCarthy in that red car. He just tagged the wall. He's chasing Matt Veyron right now. There's Matt Veyron in the white car. He leads this pack of cars. This is the battle for 4th. They are 6 seconds behind the leader. Kevin Bolton just drove out of frame there, so they are a little ways behind 3rd place in that last step on the podium. But these 4 cars chasing Matt Veyron. For 4th, Mark Abbott, he looked to the outside of Spencer McCarthy, but you're not going to make that pass on the outside there through the hairpin. You got to try to get on the inside of the guy. Abbott. Oh, Spencer McCarthy just hit the wall again. Same spot. He hit the wall there the last lap, and he's hit it again. And that one looked like a more violent hit. I have to be careful. That car can only take me so much. You can tell he's definitely overdriving the car getting in there. He's trying to do everything he can to catch Matt Veyron. And more trouble for the Corvette. Another Corvette is coming in. It's going to be John Brown. Brings the Corvette in. Oh, excuse me, that's Adam Payne. Adam Payne brings his Corvette in with damage. He's going to move him back to 30. So both of the Corvettes struggling in this race. Naomi Forster and Adam Payne. Both with damage. In just the first 10 minutes of this race around the Long Beach Street Circuit. Best racing right now in LMP1's right there. That's Matt Veyron trying to hold off Spencer McCarthy. And he's hit the wall twice, but it doesn't look like it's slowing him down any. He gave a little peek to the inside of Matt Veyron, but he couldn't get the car close enough to him to make that pass into the first turn. And Spencer McCarthy lost a lot of time to that corner. He is having a difficult time in this race trying to get through that fountain turn. Watch Dean Ahmed running 6th in class, 16th overall. Dean Ahmed is chasing that green car. These two green cars battling one another. And did he make that? No, couldn't make the pass in the first corner. Bar. They're holding that 5th spot. They've got some lap traffic in front of them though. Adam Payne's Corvette, he's rejoined the race. Fix the damage. Really close to the wall there, those two LMP2 cars. Really close to the wall. Oh, major pit stop here. That's going to be Spencer McCarthy and Mark Abbott. Not sure if this is a scheduled stop or for damage. But Spencer McCarthy and Mark Abbott are on pit road. Mark Abbott hits his pits first, and Spencer McCarthy is now on pit road for them. It looks like they're putting the fuel into the car, change the tires, and send them back out there. But it's a bit early to be doing that. But if you can make it the rest of the way from here, you go ahead and get your pit stop out of the way. But I'm not sure if that's strategy. If that was for damage. Our leaders now are working their way through lap traffic. Marion Pasapino still leading, but he has lost some ground to David Hagar as they navigate this lap traffic. That's really cost him some time. They're trying to get around that orange BMW. Can do some of these. Excuse me, an Aston Martin. And Hagar on the inside of him. Aaron Parker in the yellow BMW. Alex Lindstrom's in pit road. Another LMP1 car coming in. Alex Lindstrom, that blue car. 0.4 of a second back. Follow along with David Hager. Whoa, tight racing back there with that Ferrari as he tries to get around the Ferrari GTE car, the slower cars navigating around that tight corner. This is what's tricky about multi-class racing, all the different races going on. Pasapino got through there a lot easier than David Hager did, so he's opened his lead up to a second. There's the GTE leader. And Kevin Bolton is in on pit road. He comes in, and I believe I called that yellow BMW Aaron Parker. That's actually Danny Parker. There's two Parkers in the race today. Danny Parker is the yellow BMW. Trying to confuse me up there a little bit. Kevin Bolton, though, he pits out of 3rd place. That's going to move Matt Veyron up to 3rd in that battle. And watch our LMP2 leader, who because of all the pit stops coming from the LMP1 class, he's moved his way all the way up to 7th overall. So he's inside that LMP1 territory. Schwartzer running in 2nd place, and John Shore still trying to hold off Bolton for 3rd place in class. But now this battle is taken to the top 10. And there's our leader in GT, who's moved up to 17th overall. So this field, even though it's multi-class, it's starting to get a little mixed up. He's got Naomi Forrester in front of him, who's really holding him up. She's got a slower car, and he just cannot seem to make the pass on that car. Like I said earlier, it's so difficult to pass here, and that's allowed Suzuki Ryu to get up on his back bumper. Bilton is in for a pit stop. He's an LMP1 car, so that'll move that LMP2 field up one more position. Our leaders still trying to pick their way through. They've made it to the top 3 now. Oh, Mario Puzzapino trying to get to the inside, and I think Suzuki Ryu had some trouble getting through there, didn't really know where he was, and he got into the wall a little bit in that BMW. But look at David Hager all over the back of Puzzapino, and now Puzzapino is going around Aaron Parker to put the GTE Class 1 lap down. Aaron Parker smartly gets out of it and lets both of them go. Little tight racing there through the hairpin. I think he did make contact with David Hager, and that's going to slow David Hager down. Just as well, maybe not. David Hager is coming on the race leader. He's going to go to his outside through the front stretch. Cuts, very aggressive move. Cuts down in front of him. Right behind him he goes. He's looking to the inside. Can't quite get it there. Made a very daring move and smacked the wall going into the fountain turn. Great racing. Look to the outside of him on the front stretch. Cut down, trying to get right behind him. I thought they were going to make contact with one another there for a little bit. He actually had the inside of him on the first turn, so Puzzapino got held up there with a little bit of that GTE traffic. And Hager started to make a move. You just see how tough it is to pass around this place, though. Puzzapino for now is back in control of the race lead, but David Hager just hanging around 0.3 of a second behind him, not letting him run away. He's not going to let him run away with this one. Hager's starting to lose ground. I just don't think he's fast enough. I think he needed that lap traffic for him to close in on Puzzapino. Well, he did close that gap down a little bit in the first corner. He really threw it in there hard. Aggressive. Spencer McCarthy. We watch him. He's running in 9th. He's got some traffic up ahead in front of him. Joaquin Fromel, he continues to lead in the LMP2 class, and he's got quite the lead over Schwartzer. Fernando Schwartzer, I don't even think he's in the shot. He's at least 5 seconds down the road. Bolton now is coming into the pits. He gives up his track position to hit pit road. Have to see where he falls down in the order. This battle for the overall lead is still continuing on. David Hager still giving chase. And he seems to lose the most time coming off of that final corner. I just don't know if he can put the power down, because when they're going down the front stretch, Puzzapino he's really got a gap coming out of that hairpin, but as they get towards turn 1, David Hager can close the gap on him. So it looks like he has a faster car in a straight line. I just don't know if Hager can get the power down quick enough to get his way up towards the front. Danny Parker in that yellow BMW now. They're trying to get around him. There looks to be something laying on the track there. Matt Veyron running in third place. Whoa, a little twitchy there from the Aston Martin. Veyron was trying to pass him on the inside. The Aston Martin got a little twitchy, and I think he kind of backed out of it. To press things right now. Gary White, watch him. He's running in fourth. Chris Schumann. And I like Chris Schumann's car. That's a pretty looking car there running in fifth place. The lonely man on the track right now, Fernando Schwarzer. He's running in second. He can't even see Jochen Vermel anymore. And John Short, he's made it back to third place. For all the pit stops he had made a stop. And our leader in GTE is on, and that car looks a little worse for wear. It looks like he has run into something. That's Aaron Parker. He comes to pit road. It's going to hand Julian Ogen in the Ferrari the lead. He's on pit road, and Spencer McCarthy is on pit road again. It's his second stop, so he's falling through the order as well. And Aaron Parker making his pit stop, and also John Brown is back on pit road as well. This is these guys are being very aggressive, and they're having to pit for damage. It's Kunz. He's running in 18th overall. It'll put him second in GTE. So the two Ferraris out front right now in GTE. 1 second now the distance. Alcipino has opened it up. He's got a little bit of breathing room. This is one of the biggest leads he's had over David Hagar in a while. But he's got some open track for a little bit anyway. There are some lap cars just ahead, but he's got a while before he can catch those two. Whoa, big trouble for an LMP2 car. I believe that's an LMP2. Heavy damage. Who is that? That was either Mark Abbott or Eric Bilton. I'm not sure who that was, but heavy damage. That was a terrible crash. I'm wondering how he even got in that position. That was crazy. That car flew up in the air, lost the whole front end of it. And that car is absolutely destroyed. It may have been Gary White. No, he's still running. He's still running in fourth place. Find out who that was. My goodness, what a crash. And it happened right in front of the leaders. I'm not even sure how he was able to get that car to do that. It's pretty insane. I didn't see anybody in front of him, so I'm not really sure what he hit or what happened there. Well, so that car is out of the race. David Hager now, he's closed the gap on Mario Pusapino. It's just down 0.3 of a second. There's Suzuki Ryu. You watch him. He's moved up to second place. But he is pretty far back from Julian Ogen. In fact, there's two cars separating Ryu from Ogen. Spencer McCarthy is one of those cars, and James Bolton is the other. That's an LMP2 car and an LMP1 car. Aaron Parker, after his pit stop, no, excuse me, that's Danny Parker. We're watching now. He's in fourth, but Aaron Parker, who was leading the first stint of the race after his pit stop, he has fallen back to third overall, but we ride on board with Danny Parker in that yellow BMW. Really tight. Look at him, saw that wheel all the way over there and then get to the power. There's Aaron Parker there, and Danny Parker right behind him. That's the gap to first place overall. 35 minutes left to race in this one. And we've completed 20 laps so far. The pace has been pretty quick. Our leader lapping around 1 minute 16 seconds. So the pace is very, very quick, and he's opened up the lead over a second. We're looking at second place right now. As he gets around an LMP2 car. Second place, Fernando Schwarzer is coming in an LMP2. Gives up his track position to make a pit stop. Jochen Frommel is still leading that battle. John Shore, he now inherits second place. He started in first place in LMP2. But he has yet to lead a lap today because Jochen Frommel came out of nowhere. And on that first lap of the race went from fourth to first. And now Kevin Bolton is going to try to put him a lap down. Wasn't able to do it that time. Jochen Frommel held on. Kevin Bolton trying to put him one lap down. There's the battle for the lead again, and that's closed up. I tell you, Mario Pusapino, he drives away from him, and then David Hagar is just able to catch back up to him, and I think it's because of all this lap traffic. He's got the Corvette in front of him. Naomi Forster goes around her, both cars. Naomi going to give some space, just a little bit of space for David Hagar to slip through. I think he kind of forced the issue. He was like, look, you're going to let me through whether you want to or not. Looking to the inside of Mario Pusapino. You know he just wants to drive up there and smack him out of the way. But he doesn't. Cuts him some slack. He's staying right there with him. He's not let him get too far ahead. I think the biggest lead he's had is about a second or so. Veyron, third place in class, is 11 seconds behind. So that's the gap. And how those two up front have really just taken off. Away from Veyron. A Gary White, who started 10th, he's made his way up to 4th. Behind him is Christina Schumann. She started 9th and runs in 5th. We're right on board with Christina Schumann. Very skilled driver, and I love the livery on that car. Love the way that car looks. I'm going to have to try to drive that one. You know, I've never driven an LMP1 car on Project Cars 2. I'm going to have to give it a try, see if I'm any good at it. I doubt it, though. Gary White's on the inside, trying to get around an LMP2 car. And Christina Schumann's following him through. This is some of the closest racing on the track right now. This is the battle for 4th place. Christina Schumann wants it. Gary White has it. They still can't seem to get around that lap car. That really held Gary White up, and they had to tiptoe through the hairpin. That was going to cost Christina Schumann some time, though, to him, because she really had to get out of it to wait for Gary White to take off again. And the leader of LMP2 has made it up to 6th place overall, which is just crazy. Thinking, oh, a little contact there. More contact between a GTE car and Bilicek. Bilicek's running 7th overall. He was trying to pass it like an Aston Martin. No, a Corvette. That was a Corvette. He couldn't get around him. I think that's the Corvette of Adam Payne, who had trouble in the first 10 minutes of the race. Adam Payne getting into Bilicek a little bit. In the bar. 9th place overall. And there's your leader in GTE, Julian Ogen, going around the fountain in that Ferrari. And you know what's weird? You know, in all my years of watching races at Long Beach, to my knowledge, I don't think a car has ever ended up in that fountain. And I really don't know why. It just seems like that would be exactly what a car would do. Would be to hop that curve and go right into the fountain, but it just never happens. Riding on board with our leader in GTE The leader in GT started in 20th, so I was saying that the leader of LMP2 has made it up to 6th place. Well, get this, the leader of GT has made it up to 17th overall. Runs over a hood that actually looked like Naomi Forrester's hood. She may have lost a hood again. It was yellow, and it was really... Oh, well, you know, Danny Parker's in a yellow BMW, but that hood looked very yellow, kind of like a Corvette. Aaron Parker, who led the first couple of laps in this race, he's running in 3rd right now, just behind Suzuki Ryu, who seems to only ever run in 2nd place. He's been running 2nd place this entire race. They are losing ground to Julian Ogen because they have an LMP1 car of Lindstrom ahead of them, and Dean Ahmed is also ahead of him. But look at this, Mario Pasapino is on pit road. The leader making a pit stop with the final 30 minutes left. Veyron is also on pit road, so these two cars giving up their positions on the track to come in for their pit stop. That's going to hand the lead of the race to David Hagar, and there's the battle for 2nd place now. That's Gary White and Christina Schumann. They all of a sudden find themselves on the podium. Gary White carrying the British flag on his car. So Posapino is making his decides to come into the pit to make his one and only stop. This should be a one-stop race. I don't think we'll have to see more than one stop in this race for the top class. So he's coming in, and he's going to spend the last 30 minutes on that set of tires. David Hager staying out just a little longer than he. Christina Schumann getting around that lapped car. Battling Gary White for 2nd place, but they are still, this battle here, even though it is for 2nd, are 12 seconds behind. And Christina Schumann, she just pulled off and is making her pit stop in that Vulcan. So she comes in, and it looks like that's Spencer McCarthy making like his 600th pit stop for the race. Seems like he's been in the pits a lot during this race. Spencer McCarthy now finding himself currently 24th overall, a long ways behind this field. This field has been all shaken up. It has been crazy to see all the different cars coming into the pit road for damage and whatnot, because it has shaken this entire field up. I mean, right now, that's the leader of LMP2. He started 11th, and he just took over the 3rd place overall. And I just did not expect to see an LMP2 car on the podium. And you gotta wonder, can an LMP2 car finish on the podium? I don't know. Christina Schumann, because of that pit stop, she's fallen back to 4th place. That's allowed Joaquin Flamel to take over the spot. And even in GTE, Julian Ogen, who started 20th, running 13th overall in the Ferrari. Pasapino's rejoined the race. He's rejoined in 5th place. He smacked the wall twice. Naomi Forrester is really holding him up, and he has smacked the wall twice since he's got back out there. He finds himself in 5th. Whoa, about lost the car as he got a little aggressive on that curve. Naomi's really holding him up, and he really has to get by her in that Corvette. Now he's got the power down. He's able to get around, but she really held him up in a big way. Christina Schumann has also made her pit stop. And I think because of all the trouble Pasapino had, Schumann has been able to hold on to 5th place overall. 4th in class, so she comes out in front of Mario Pasapino, so he lost a lot of time on his outlap. And that might not be such a good thing with 25 minutes left to go. There's a car we hadn't really talked about most of the race. That's an Aston Martin of Seegers. It's Andre Seegers, running 3rd in class. He's on that last step of the GTE podium. He's made a pit stop. He can go the rest of the way. And he started pretty far back in the GTE field, so he's had a nice little calm, quiet day. Mario Pasapino is coming in. Yeah, he hit the wall twice, and I think this is for damage. So bad luck for the race leader, who was so dominant in the first 30 minutes of the race. Mario Pasapino is having to come in to fix damage. And that is going to do it for him because he's going to fall through the order. So David Hager, with 24 minutes to go, finds himself with a 13-second lead. And you know he's got to be loving life now because really all he has to do is keep the car on the racetrack and out of trouble, and he should be fine to go the rest of the way. Now he does have to make a pit stop, which he will be coming in soon. But Gary White, who's running in second, also has to make a pit stop. Bilicek is back on pit road. He's running fourth. Gives up that spot. There's Gary White, 16 seconds behind the leader. And he also has yet to come in for a stop. So the top two cars have to pit. Joachim Frommel, who's leading LMP2, he still has to pit. Christina Schumann is running in fourth. She has yet to pit. She has made a pit stop, but she is pretty far behind. She's about a minute off of the leaders. So I wonder if she can gain that time and maybe come out with the lead here. She had a really good stop. It was a quick one. Kevin Boland, he's found himself back in 7th place. He was our 3rd place car. He's running behind Matt Veyron and Christina Schumann, who have both made pit stops. John Shore is also ahead of him too. Julian Ogen in the Ferrari, he's leading in GTE. Big lead in GTE, and he's got a buffer of 3 cars before you get back to that 2nd place GTE car running in 17th. He lets a couple of guys go by. No need to force the issue here. There's Seegers making his final pit stop of the race with 22 minutes to go. He's coming out of the pits now. And there's Ogen's teammate. It's going to be Luigi Rizzio, and that car is not looking too good. You see the front end of it just kind of bouncing around. He's running in 3rd place. He's made a pit stop. I wonder if he'll have to come in and have that fixed. This isn't going to be bothering too much. And Pasapino, he came in for damage. He has rejoined the race in 12th position, 7th overall. A good 2 minutes behind the leader. In fact, he's right behind David Hagar now. David Hagar just put him another lap down. There's the leader of the race, and he was once battling him for the lead, but he will battle him for the lead no more. And that is unfortunate to see. Aaron Parker running in 4th place in GTE. He led the opening stages. So most of the leaders that we saw opening up the race, they're not having too good races now. Parker was pretty dominant in the first couple of laps there, but this man, David Hager, who's running 2nd, he's still leading the race, but he still has to make a pit stop. And we should see him on pit road any moment now, and then he'll make a final dash for the finish with about 20 minutes to go. It's been a very quick race, and it has jumbled this field all the way up. LMP2, Joachim Frommel, he's running in 3rd place when he started 11th, and I can't remember the last time I saw one of these multi-class races where the classes were this jumbled up. Gary White carrying that British flag. Love the look of that car. He's running in 2nd place, but he still has to make a stop, so we're expecting the top 2 cars to be coming in any moment. That actually could maybe possibly hand the overall lead of the race to Joachim Frommel. An LMP2 car could maybe lead a lap in the overall standings. There's GTE, which at this point is pretty wrapped up. 2 cars separating him back to Suzuki Ryu. But a dominant showing. Joachim Frommel needs a little room. Seegers didn't give him a whole lot of room there. He was trying to put him a lap down. He's not giving him a whole lot of room that time either. Keeps trying to pinch him towards the wall. That is not for position, so I'm not really sure what Seegers is doing there. Lindstrom goes on the outside of John Shore. Isn't full position either. Lindstrom's going to have the inside, but John Shore just makes a stick on the outside. It's good racing. That's an LMP2 car there of John Shore versus the LMP1 car of Alex Lindstrom. And there's Veyron. Matt Veyron. Running in 4th place. He's looking like he's going to get a podium today. Really good run from Matt Veyron. 19 minutes and 20 seconds remain in this race. Not a whole lot of time now. Gonna have to push hard. David Hager has hit pit road. Our leader is coming in for his final stop of the race. We'll have to see where he winds up and see if Gary White stays out to maybe lead a lap. There's Gary White. He is staying out. He's not going to make his stop now, so he will inherit the race lead. And he's going to have to try to run some quick laps because he is going to have to be coming in here pretty soon. And if he can run some fast laps, he could try to close that gap on the leader a little bit. LMP2 leader Jochen Vermel. I just cannot believe that an LMP2 car is sitting on the podium right now. Christina Schumann. She's in 4th. She's way far behind, and I just don't know if she's going to be able to get up there. David Haggard will be leaving the pits any moment now. So I don't think she's going to be able to pass him. I think David Haggard will rejoin the race in 2nd place. He has. As Jochen Vermel goes past him to take 2nd place. David Haggard rejoins the race. In 2nd, he's being shown 33 seconds behind Gary White. So when Gary White finally makes his pit stop, Haggard will reclaim the lead. Just wonder if Gary White can eat into that lead any. There's Gary White coming in across the start-finish line now to complete lap 34. He should be coming into pits in a lap or two. Hasn't got that much fuel left on board that car. He has opened up the lead a little bit. Well, it's bouncing around 33 to 34 seconds. They're 2nd place overall. That's an LMP2 car. An LMP2 car 2nd place overall. But he has to make a pit stop. He'll be coming in shortly. And there's David Haggard, who's running in 3rd right now, who is the leader-elect. On board with him. Really tight. Can't even see those cars. You don't know where they're at. Easily going to go by these two. It's actually a battle for 2nd place. He goes on by Jochen Vermel. Jochen Vermel's that green car way back there. This is all 33 seconds behind our current leader, Gary White. Alex Greenland's back on pit road. It says Suzuki Ryu gives up 2nd in class to come into the pits in that BMW. There's Aaron Parker. He's going to try to leapfrog him and get back to 2nd place. And I don't believe Julian Ogen has made a pit stop. Can't remember if he has or not. I don't remember seeing him make a pit stop. Right on board in the Aston Martin. Alex Lindstrom is back on pit road. Stephen Ryu still sits on pit road, so can Aaron Parker leapfrog him and get back to 2nd? Julian Ogen. Aaron Parker was able to stay ahead, so Aaron Parker moves up to 2nd place. Now our leader in LMP2 is on pit road. He's coming in out of the 2nd spot. Matt Veyron and Christina Schumann both get around him. John Shore is the next LMP2 car that he's got to contend with. He's running in 7th place overall. There's Gary White. Still hasn't come into the pits. I'm expecting him shortly. He has to come in this, but I don't know how much fuel he thinks he's got on there. John Shore has passed Jochen Frommel. Look at that after the pit stop. There's Jochen Frommel running in 2nd place, but John Shore has been able to pass him. John Shore started on the pole in LMP2. He was the first car. He started 11th, but he hasn't led anything today. But he's got the lead now, running 6th overall. And that green and white car back there in the distance is the 2nd place. There's Jochen Frommel, who has led this whole race in LMP2, comes into the pits, and John Shore was able to leapfrog him, but just by a hair. And that's actually the closest battle for the lead on pit road. Gary White now is coming in, and that is probably, most likely, definitely going to hand the lead back to David Hagar. We'll have to see where Gary White cycles through in all this. So David Hagar is coming to inherit the lead of the race. Just 13 minutes remaining. James Bolton is also back on pit road. I believe Alex Lindstrom, no, excuse me, that was Alex Greenland, just lost the hood. Yeah, Alex Lindstrom's missing his hood. So David Hagar takes the lead from Gary White. He reclaims the lead, 12 minutes, 56 seconds to go. Gary White still sits into the pits. And Christina Schumann, she's lost her front end. Gary White has just left pit road, so she was not able to leapfrog him. Well, I don't know. She's on the inside of him. Yep, she's going to be able to do it. Christina Schumann moves up to 2nd place. Gary White is just behind her. And then, but look, they've got a gaggle of cars. Got a little traffic jam here. Christina Schumann trying to push her way through that lap traffic. I guess she figures she's already tore up the car. Why not go and tear it up some more? We ride on board with Gary White. Look at all those cars ahead of him. You're going to have to be careful here. Navigate this traffic. Way to the inside. Look at that. Christina Schumann's car is looking a little better. Missing the whole front end. A couple of these cars are missing their front ends. It's Milton Holt missing his front end as well. Christina Schumann, she runs in 2nd. She's made a pit stop. And don't expect her to come in to fix that damage, especially not in this late in the race. So David Hagar with 11 minutes and 24 seconds to go is in the lead. And here's a battle for the lead in LMP2. Jochen Frommel looks to the inside of John Shore. John Shore holds him off there. This is the closest battle on the racetrack. Frommel has been so quick. You know he's got the faster car. John Shore knows he's got the faster car. He just takes a peek to the inside. Stalking John Shore. The LMP2 car. Did he gain any ground here? I think he definitely got to the gas a lot quicker than John Shore did, so that's going to give him the advantage down the front stretch. Gap is nothing right there between those two. And can John Shore hold off that car for 10 minutes? That's going to be a long 10 minutes. And John Shore wishes that clock would run out right now, but he's going to have to hold him off. And James Bolton still sits on pit road, so he's got major issues that they are working on. He's still being scored in 8th place, 6th place in class LMP1. Oh, Jochen Frommel looking to the inside again. Still can't make that pass. So tough to pass here. He's all over him. He's just hoping that John Shore makes a mistake and he can pick up the spot. Looks to the inside of him again. He keeps ducking out there, hoping that John Shore will look in his rearview mirror. That's what he's trying to do. He keeps trying to move around a lot, so it keeps John Shore looking behind him. That's when he'll make a mistake. That's what he's hoping for. Adam Payne, his Corvette is just ahead. Shore wasn't quite sure where to go on that one. And the leader of the race, David Hagar, is coming up behind them. Hagar is... Was that Alex Fromell? That's his hood laying right there as Julian Ogen goes by. Alex Fromell has lost his hood. Julian Ogen is... he's got this wrapped up. He can go the rest of the way. He has made a pit stop. Yeah, Julian Ogen's missing a hood there. And there goes Hagar by both of them. He's going to pass them both. Gets them another. Oh, John Shore closes the door on him. And Fromell goes to the outside. Not a whole lot of grip up there. And Hagar backed way out of it. He's fallen way back behind them. I guess he was like, I'm not going to put up with this. So he just backed out of it. Adam Payne squeezes John Shore. John Shore can't get going. Fromell looks to the inside. John Shore blocks him. Hagar's coming back up on the both of them. Daggone, this is some great stuff with 7 minutes to go. He puts them both a lap down. John Shore continues on. Adam Payne really held all those guys up. Alex Fromell doesn't seem to be bothered with that hood. He's still racing just as hard as ever. I think he hit the wall right there, and that caused the hood to fly off the car. And the leader of GTE's behind all this. All of our leaders are running right there together on the track. David Hagar is just ahead. Got this battle for LMP2 and Julian Ogen in the Ferrari just behind them. Christina Schumann, she has actually closed that gap down to 11 seconds. But I don't think it's going to be enough with the time remaining in the race. Because that man right there, he has put some solid laps on. He did get held up a little bit in all that traffic. But with 6 minutes and 43 seconds to go, 10-second lead. So he's feeling pretty good about things right now. There's our leader in GTE, the Ferrari. He's had a really quiet race. And John Shore has come into pit road. He has run out of gas. I didn't even realize that he was short on fuel. So that hands the lead back. Jochen Fromell. I had no idea that John Shore was short on fuel. I thought he could make it the rest of the way, but apparently he cannot. And he has had to come back to pit road. I guess he was trying to stretch it and play that strategy, but it did not work. He's going to be about 6 minutes short. Belichick is missing a hood too. Missing the nose off that car. These cars look like they've been racing at a short track, a local short track of stock cars or something. These cars are all beat to hell. And that Ferrari in front of him, I think that's good to. Oh, Veyron spins, and that's going to collect. I was trying to see who that was. That collected a couple of cars there. Kevin Bolin gets through. John Shore's coming off the pits. Look at him. He's still got a car stuck. That's Milton Holt. So Milton, Hulk, and Veyron. Veyron was running fourth. John Shore's come to a complete stop. Not sure what that's about. He just came to a stop right there. I wonder if he's having problems with the car or making an adjustment on that. He came to a complete stop in the fountain turn. Gary White is running third. He's 19 seconds behind the leader. About 9 seconds, 9 to 8 seconds behind second place, Christina Schumann. So if he can just hang on these last 4 minutes, he'll have a nice, comfortable race, finishing third on the podium. And Christina Schumann has been very impressive in this race. She didn't start too well, but she has certainly finished the day. She drove very hard today to get up through the field. And the pits strategy just went her way too. So Christina Schumann, with 4 minutes and 23 seconds to go, looking like a second place is going to be in her future. But that guy there, he's been dominant all race long. He ran second for the first 30 minutes. Brushed the wall there through the hairpin. Ran second for the first 30 minutes behind Mario Principino. But the last 30 minutes here, it's been all him. There was the front runner in GTE, Suzuki Ryu. He's running in third place right now in class, 20th overall. The leader in GTE is running 17th overall. I still can't get over how mixed the classes were today. And Aaron Parker, who led the opening stages of the race, he's settled back to second place right now. One car is separating him between Julian Ogen and Spencer McCarthy. He's running in 18th. There's Julian Ogen in the Ferrari. Didn't expect the Ferrari to be so good today. I actually thought it would be the BMWs. Everything I seemed to witness in practice just told me, well, the BMW is going to be strong. Ferrari never actually crossed my mind. But then, you know, Aston Martin led the whole first of the race with the BMW chasing. I thought that would be the race in GTE. You never expected Ferrari to do as good as they did. They certainly put up one heck of a race. John Shore's back out running in third place. Fernando Schwarzer has moved back up to second. And there he is, running comfortably along in second place. Kevin Boland looks to the inside of him. Couldn't quite make that pass work. But there's the leader, LMP2, running 6th overall. The LMP2 field started 11th. They have made their way up into 6th. A couple of LMP2 cars running in the top 10. It's just pretty amazing. And I think that the GTE field, who started 20th, has made their way all the way up in the 17th. There's another Ferrari looking a little worse for wear. That's Luigi Rizzo, believing Ferrari's teammate. That Ferrari's running in 23rd as David Hagler puts it, another lap down. 45 laps have been completed in this event as we enter the final minute and 30 seconds. There's a minute and 30 on the clock. David Hagar just trying to hang on to win the race. Started first, ran second. And when Mario Principino had all those troubles, he was just able to capitalize on it. He was so good throughout the race. Never missed a beat. Christina Schumann fought her way up through the field today. And despite that damage, he's been running along in second place. Gary White sitting on the final step of the podium. We watch our leader now. And there isn't a scratch on that car, and as he drives past all these other cars that have been damaged in this race, you just notice not a scratch on his car. That car's in pristine shape. And this is going to be the final lap for David Hagar. White flag in the air as the timer is about to run out on this race, and he just has to get around one more circuit to win this one. Again, started from the pole, chased, ran in second the majority of the race, first 30 minutes, and then just capitalized on the trouble that Principino suffered. And he's been pretty flawless ever since. This is going to be a much-deserved win for him and that team after the work they've put into this one. 12 seconds over Christina Schumann. And now he's turned on the lights as the sun is setting here at Long Beach. As he comes through the final couple of corners for the very last time after 1 hour of racing. Into the hairpin for the last time, waiting to get on the power, and he's on the power now, down to the front stretch. The checkered flag is in the air, and it is in the air for David Hagar, who wins the Hour of Long Beach in the LMP1 class. Bravo to that team, and what a drive for him. And here comes Jochen Frommel, who is running 6th overall in the LMP2, and scored Jochen Frommel as the winner in the LMP2 class. Brilliant drive for him. Started 4th, got up to 1st. And what a drive for this Ferrari. Did not expect to see a Ferrari up front. Ran the whole race on this tank of gas. Amazing. And kept all the fenders on, it looked like. Really clean drive for him. And Julian Ogen is going to pick up the win in GTE. What a race that was. Wild race. And he finishes 18th overall. A GTE car finishing 18th overall. What a wacky race that was. So many guys having so much trouble, and it shook up this order. None of the classes finishing where they should have. And we had an LMP2 class car finish in the top 10. A couple of LMP2 cars finish in the top 10. So it's going to be David Hagar picking up the win. Christina Schumann, she would finish 2nd. And Gary White would finish 3rd. That was your podium. Matt Veyron 4th. Bilton would be 5th. Jochen Frommel in the LMP2 car would be 6th. Mario Pasapino was able to kind of rebound a little bit. He did get up to 7th place overall, 6th in class. And then the 2nd place LMP2 car, and on the 2nd step of the podium in LMP2 would be Schwartzman, Fernando Schwartzman, and James Bolton, Kevin Boland would finish 9th, and John Shore would finish 10th, and he would be 3rd in class on that podium finish there. And of course, Julian Ogen would pick up the win in GTE. Aaron Parker and the Aston Martin would finish 2nd, and Suzuki Ryu would finish 3rd, and they would be 18th, 19th, and 20th in the classes. I'm Justin with NRN, the Noble Racing Network. This has been the 1 hour of Long Beach. I hope you enjoyed the race, and we'll see you next time. Take it easy, everybody.